Hi everyone, this is Ramona coming back at you. I've been struggling on making this particular video. I have no oomph for you today. I've had a crazy 2 weeks and I've just been really busy bee. And today I just had it. Kind of just lazy day, and it didn't turn out to be the lazy day that I expected it to be. So sorry if I look haggard. I did try to put some makeup on, but whatever. So I'm gonna have like a lackadaisical way of approaching this topic. So I hope you still enjoy the video. Okay, so I guess this video was sparked by something that I have seen today, early this morning, about a person who I don't know personally, but I do know that she is in the YouTube community, and unfortunately, she was hacked. It was just some crazy stuff, and I'm not gonna go through the whole thing, but I mean, what's the point of getting hacked? They really jacked everything up for her, so let's just put it that way. Um, I have watched her getting like really targeted um, in every which corner that it can come at her. It comes, just all different kinds of groups of people with their own intentions. I'll, okay, so I'm not even thinking right. um, but they are just really attacking her. And initially, I was going to make this video based on how to handle bullies, okay? But I think that there's something that's a lot greater here of a lesson that we can talk about today, this evening. It's very late here. Because I'm always a person for two things. Number one, getting back to basics. Very big thing. And I'm not preaching, because I myself have to check in with myself once in a while, and to ground myself, to humble myself, to get back to basics of what's really important, especially when I'm going through major big issues and it has to do with other people. I tend to sometimes forget, and I lose myself, and in losing myself, I forget how to react in a way that I would be proud of myself to react. And I think that that's really what I want to talk to you about today. Okay. So as I'm like sitting back and I'm watching this woman, I've been watching her for quite a while now, and I've seen her getting targeted. I've seen her getting crap from every corners of the whole thing. You know, people are just coming at her, and I think what really needs to be highlighted is maybe there's like a life lesson here to really be in focus. And I think that sometimes when insane things happen to us, they're so crazy and so out there, you really have to stop and ask, like, why am I going through this? Nobody else goes through this. This is not the norm. This is not the everyday personal things that we have to just fix, and we find a fix and a resolve, and we deal it, wash our hands of it, and move on with our lives. But when something is repetitively coming at you, and it's the same story, it's the same situation, you can't get rid of it, and especially when it has to deal with other people, I think that there is a greater reason And I think that it really has to do with a personal life lesson that you have to deal with. Now, you take this woman's situation where she has been completely targeted, and I've seen and I've watched how she's gotten rid of like one particular person or one group of people in particular, and though that group has been replaced by two or three more groups, it's crazy. It's crazy what she's going through. And I'm just like wondering, how out of common this is. This is not very, it has to be a life issue. And so I've been thinking all day long, like, what could that life issue mean? This woman is very, very strong on her spiritual path. She really, really is. And what does that mean? Being strong on their personal path. It really is all about like seriously fine-tuning yourself. And when that is highlighted in your life, I think that things get thrown at you more so than the average Joe or the average Jane. Because it's your passion. It's your passion, and it's the main focus for yourself, that you want to be able to become the optimum best of you. You want to be able to learn in this lifetime. It's something essentially important, especially if you call yourself a teacher, and you just have that kind of heart to want to teach other people. And in doing that, you have to be wise. You're just a wise person. How do you become wise? By life experiences. How do you get life experiences? Well, things get thrown at you, and I do believe in the law of attraction. And if that's your main focus, to teach, to be wise, and to help others, I think that things will get thrown at you that to the average person, that's nuts. Those nuts situations. And so I think personally that she's learning it, but I wanna point it out to you, which is sometimes in this situation, the repetitive thing is like dealing with people who are haters. People are going to be jealous and envious of you, or just people who are dealing with they're just living their own lives, and they're just being a constant aggravation. I'm sorry if I'm not looking at you, I'm thinking. And but somehow they're connecting with you, okay? And how do you deal with a situation where people you can't escape? Okay, you can't escape living side by side with these people who are total opposites of you. Whatever you're trying to do, they're trying to do different, and they're trying to kind of ram it down your throat, really, and they're trying to just create that bridge with you, and you can't get rid of them. I think in this case, like, the life lesson is that how when you're dealing with people like that, I think that it's really time to come to boil it down and get down to basics, and remember yourself. And sometimes you have to like wash out what's going on, like completely wash out what's going on around you, and remember what you're doing. Remember the passion. Since you wanted to be a leader, you wanted to be a teacher, you want to be the wise one, so that not for the sake of being in the limelight, but to help other people. You have to get back down to the basics and realize what it is that you're doing. Okay, so this woman had a passion to do this, for everything that I just said. And she wanted to be the wise one, the leader, the teacher. But I think that when you take on that role, you have to remember to keep yourself in focus. Like, you're the only one who you should be working on. And in doing that, your onlookers are going to learn from your experiences, the steps that you choose to take, because they're well thought out steps. Just whatever it is that you do in your life, and the ideas that you come up with for resolve, and the way that you live your life in the pristine, kind of close pristine way of living your life. Thinking before you're doing, I think that that's just basically all that you can do when you are being attacked and harassed that way. Because when you're true to yourself, when you have the confidence within yourself, when you cannot be moved, nobody can come at you. It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter if they come by the hundreds. It doesn't matter what they do. They can't affect you because you're so sure of yourself. You never take a step without thinking. And knowing that every step you take is a life lesson, and you're honing in on your own responsibility. You're responsible for yourself, and you're dedicated to your passions, and just bringing whatever it is about you. You bring it, you mirror it, bring it back to yourself. And whatever you do in your life, whatever walk of life that you choose to take on, and you have onlookers, that is becoming the teacher. That is the real wise one. Now, we are all egotistical. We do have the good in ourselves and the bad. We have really wonderful aspects and characteristics of our personality. And then we have like the really negative ones. We do get jealous. We do get egotistical. We do put ourselves on a pedestal. When people are especially when people are paying attention to you by the hundreds, okay? In this woman's case, yeah, the hundreds. She had like 1,700 subscribers or something like that. We put ourselves in this pedestal, and we're paying attention to the comments. We're paying attention to the likes and the dislikes, and we're paying attention to how many subscribers we have. We're paying attention to the focus on what the video is going to be about. That's a good thing, but then again, it can be a bad thing, because it's not about teaching something. It can get to a point where it's not about teaching, it's not about helping, but really it's kind of narcissistic in a way. And I'm not pointing the finger. I'm not trying to call somebody out. I'm absolutely not trying to do that. This is all about learning on my channel when I talk about these things. But I definitely think that when we start becoming narcissistic, when we start putting ourselves on a pedestal, when we start to lose focus on what's really important, what we're doing in our lives, what we choose to do, whether it be a teacher, a leader, what have you, and we start focusing on the fluff of it all, that's when the negative people find that soft spot and get themselves in. And that's when they start messing with your head. They start attacking you. They start harassing you. They start bringing you down, tearing you down, doing whatever it is, And I think that if you can anchor yourself into yourself and not worry about the outside world, and just continue to do what's right by you, be true to yourself as a teacher, as a guide, as somebody who wants to help. That's how you, number one, don't get bullied, but also you don't lose your sanity. Ugh, I'm really cold here. Um, I hope this video comes out the way that I anticipated on it coming out. So I think that I just want to wrap that up. Like, I know this in this case, we have the community where there's a lot of people who are just magnetic. I mean, we have the ones who are on top, and those are the ones who are always in focus, and excuse me. But it's not just about people like that. It's also about the regular Janes and the regular Joes out there. We are very so sensitive to what other people are doing around us, that we tend to lose focus on what's really important in our lives. And we tend to get lost by the ego stuff. And I think the life lesson there is always stay in focus. Always know what you're doing. Always check in with yourself. It's never okay to knock things off kilter. I always see life like that, where, sorry if I can stop shaking because I'm so cold, that we are on the what do you call those scales of weights, where we're just like balancing scales. You should always strive to keep things on an even keel, okay? And it's never okay to have it off kilter, because even if it's making you feel good in the moment, but there's always going to be something out there in the universe that is just going to knock you off of that pedestal. It's good to feel good and confident within yourself. It's a good thing. But when it just becomes a way of life, a way of living, and you're just high up here, there's always going to be somebody who's going to come around and knock you right off of that pedestal. And it's not me making it a point of saying, well, just for the sake of me not wanting to see you on that pedestal, well, you better get off of it. That's not my point. I just know a secret. That everything in this world, there is an absolute balance. And if you try to alter that balance and try to live that way of being, okay, let's make this one the high life, okay? So if you're trying to be narcissistic or egotistical, I like the word egotistical because narcissistic just makes it really negative. But if you're just being like really, really egotistical and you're trying to maintain that ego, life always, at some point, maybe you're just used to living that way, living like this for like a long period of time, okay? Yes, I can knock on somebody knocked on my chair. Okay. But if you're constantly living like that, what is it? It's just the universe. It's just there's a law of maintaining, okay? And if you just try to be on that high life all the time, you will get knocked down a few pegs. It will happen. So when the nut things happen to you in your life, like, what is going on in my life? I'm being targeted by everybody. Everybody is targeting me. I can't believe it. Like, what is it about me? This is not normal. It doesn't happen You're right, it's not normal. It's not normal. I really don't feel that it is like a normal thing that should occur. And so when it does happen, you have to stop and think, like, why is this happening to me? There's always a reason why, and you have to strip everything down and get down to the banana. And this video is running long, so 20 minutes. So I hope that I got that message out. I think I was going to. It is not about just somebody we all know, like, or I'm not talking about just one particular person, but there's somebody in your mind, in your view, in your computer world that you really like, and you see that they're like up here, you know, and they're feeling good about themselves, but they've lost sight. They've lost sight, and they were trying to live on a off kilter way of living, and it's especially if you've made it your passion to become, and it's your life job to be just very caring and being a point of being learned from. Life will definitely put you back on your kilter, you know. So I don't know. I think that the average Joe, I think that's where I was going before, like the average Joe, the average Jane, when you're working with people, here we go. If you're working at your job, or if you're in your school and there's just no way of escaping, and you're dealing with all this crap, instead of saying like, why me, why is this happening to me, this is freakish, I just have bad luck, and stop it and wonder, like, what is the lesson here? Because, you know what I mean, there's always a lesson. So if there's something that's just crazy, you're like, this doesn't happen to everybody else, well, why am I being targeted at my job? Why is it that it's just so weird that everybody just does not like me? And you know that you're there's nothing that's out of the norm. You first you got to figure that out. Like, make sure there's nothing out of the norm that you're really doing, that, you know. But if you stop and think like, okay, well, I'm nice to everybody, I say hello to everyone every day, there's nothing crazy about me. I come to work, I don't outshine anybody. I'm not saying that that's something that you don't want to do to outshine, but I'm just saying, like, you just keep it a mundane. You're just like the average Joe or the average Jane. But why is it that all my coworkers hate me? They really give me a hard time. Like, what is it about me? Stop and figure it out. I really feel like, you know, there's seriously a lesson to be learned in that. And did I tell you that lesson? I'm just so tired. Jeez. I really do feel that if you can just get back to, is this recording? I hope that this is recording. But if you can seriously be confident within yourself, remember who you are and what you're doing, and focus, mirror yourself, then and stay true to yourself. I really feel that there are no open doors, there's no holes where you can fall through, because if you can tell yourself, hey, I'm doing everything right, I'm doing absolutely everything right, I'm not doing anything to offend anyone, I'm not doing anything to hurt anyone in any which way, shape, or form, and it's not, my life is not about them, it is about me. As long as I'm being respectful to other people and I'm just doing me, and they don't, you know, you just have to get that really thick skin of just serious like assurance about who you are and what you're doing. So that's the two things: who you are and what you're doing, and you're sure about what you're doing, then nobody can harm you. They can't get in. They can't get in, they can't harm you. And even if you slip for a second, like, oh, well, that person over there is bothering me, but you just, you, if you check in with yourself, if you're still that strong person, you come in and you check with yourself, you know what? Hey, am I doing anything to cause this issue? No. Am I doing anything wrong at all? The answer is no. Then ride on that. Screw everybody else around you. And yes, it is as easy as that. Because the more you work on yourself, the more that you know, there's always going to be negative people there. There's always going to be somebody who just wants to, But yeah, just get like that thicker skin, and that comes with reassurance of who you are as a person, and nobody can attack. Nobody can get in. And this is a lesson for me. I like talking about these things because I don't pretend that I have all the answers. I don't pretend that I am perfect. And I don't pretend that I don't mess up in my life. I don't pretend. So I like making these videos because I do think it's a mirror. I think that it reflects myself. And I think that I'm going to make another video because, that one maybe you want to watch, maybe you don't want to watch, but this is definitely my channel, and I like to talk. I like to, for myself, getting back to basics. And I'm going to talk about that in my next video. So I hope that this video helps everybody. Hope it really came across. I was just trying to put like a unique turn or a unique twist to what the usual is and everybody's talking about. But I don't feel like how people are explaining themselves. It is significant. I think that it's very surface. They're talking about and advising people in a way that everybody already knows, but sometimes even if we have that knowledge, it's just not going to resonate with us and click with us. Like, okay, you're telling me to get over it, and yeah, you're right, I should get over it, but I can't get over it. So I think, like, with my twist on things, I think that I try to get deeper down into the issue instead of just saying, get over it, because we all know that there are a lot of things in this world that you just can't get over, because if that was the case, wouldn't we all be happy? So always remember to get down to the core of things. Peel the banana and let's enjoy the banana. Okay, love you, bye.